Hello everybody, Mercules here from Planet Destiny, and today we're going to be bringing you the legendary review of the very high impact sniper rifles. As you probably know, high impact snipers like 1000 yard stare and longbow synthesis can no longer reliably super snipe, and what that means is if your opponent's at 7 armor or higher and they activate their Stormcaller, Blade Dancer, Sunbreaker, Super, whatever it is, and you shoot them in the head, they'll actually survive with a small amount of health still left over. Bungie did this because their express purpose was to push people to use other types of sniper rifles in the Crucible. Prior to Rise of Iron, however, there were not very many options of snipers that could still reliably super snipe. You were basically left with the Black Spindle, the Black Hammer, or the Aphrodite Spear, or something like the Gozen C, a rare or uncommon sniper rifle that had that impact class. Fortunately, when Rise of Iron dropped, they actually brought us 3 new sniper rifles that are available in the very high impact class. They're the Devil's Dawn, which you can get from the end of any new Rise of Iron strike by using a skeleton key, the XMasnaa, which is actually the raid sniper rifle, which is going to be released on Friday the 23rd, and then the Event Horizon, which is the Crucible Quartermaster sniper rifle. Moving on to perks and stats, let's start with the Devil's Dawn. It's a very interesting weapon, and that's similar to the raid weapons with preset perks. That means there is no randomness, it drops the same every single time. Fortunately, it's competitive right out of the box for PvP because the scope is a low zoom model, meaning 4.9 times magnification, which is the exact same as short gaze or ambush or the other popular options in the Crucible. Considering its other perks, you actually get to choose a barrel perk instead of a scope, and you choose between linear compensator, accuraz ballistics, or field choke. These are all basically the exact same thing, with them increasing impact, decreasing stability, decreasing aim assist, and increasing range. And what that means is that unfortunately you don't really have a choice about decreasing your aim assist or not. So your base aim assist is actually going to decrease from 39 to 29, and there's not really anything you can do about it. Now the trade-off to that is you actually do more damage. You go from doing 452 to the head to 463 and 181 to the body to 186. And what that means is you're going to leave low armor guardians with literally 1 or 2 hit points left if you shoot them in the body, which works really well for team shotting. Moving on to its column 2, 3, and 4 perks, it actually has life support and quick draw in columns 2 and 3, and those are tier 1 options for this class of sniper rifle. They are excellent. Unfortunately, column 4 stops it from being perfect, and it has Firefly, which although it's a fun perk, is not really something that's super useful for a sniper rifle of this archetype. The next gun I want to talk about is the Event Horizon, which is being sold by the Crucible Quartermaster, and his vendor role is actually very good as well. It comes with Short Gaze, SLH-10, and Hidden Hand, which in my opinion are 2 of the absolute best options for competitive sniper rifles. Short Gaze is my favorite scope in general. It's low zoom, and Hidden Hand is definitely necessary on the sniper rifles like this that have such low base aim assist. In the middle 2 perks, it's not fantastic. The Devil's Dawn actually has better options, but it does have the choice between either Grenadier or Spray and Pray in column 2 and then Small Bore in column 3. Grenadier and Spray and Pray, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. It's going to be up to you for your personal preference. And then in column 3, Small Bore, I would much rather like to see Quick Draw if I could, but Small Bore doesn't actually decrease the size of the magazine, so you basically get a free boost to range and stability, with the only drawback being a tiny decrease in reload speed. If you were looking for the God roll on a randomly dropped or a randomly rolled Event Horizon, just take column 2, make it life support, take column 3, make it quick draw. For PvE, the God roll is a little bit different. In column 2, instead of life support, we're going to look for triple tap, and we're going to keep quick draw in column 3, and then in column 4, we're actually going to go with unflinching to try to negate some of those flinch changes that they made in the most recent balance patch, because that's been hitting PvE pretty hard. And now on to the last sniper rifle in the very high impact archetype. It is the XMasnaa, which again is the raid sniper rifle. Just like the Devil's Dawn, it comes with a pre-selected scope. It looks like it's going to be a low zoom scope. The zoom stat is only 50, which is pretty low compared to the 49 zoom stat for the Devil's Dawn. And because it is a pre-selected scope, that means you have to choose between barrel perks in the first column. You're given the options of linear compensator, accuraz ballistics, or field choke. Which means that, again, you're going to be losing some aim assist no matter what you pick. It's going to take you from 33 down to 23, and you don't really have a choice about that, but you will be getting the bonus to impact. If you look at the other perks, in column 2 it has Spray and Pray, and column 3 it has Quick Draw, And then in column 4, it has a new perk called Wait For It. And you're going to see that Wait For It and Spray and Pray synergize perfectly together. Wait For It actually gives you a larger magazine if you wait to reload until the previous magazine is empty. The reason that works with Spray and Pray is because Spray and Pray gives you faster reload speed if your magazine is empty. You can see those two will work perfectly together. Quick Draw is again a tier 1 perk for this class of sniper rifle, so I think the XMasnaa is probably going to be the very best of the high or very high impact archetype to use in PvE. I think they're going to work very, very perfectly. I don't think those perks are going to mesh well with PvP necessarily, because I can't really see how having 1 extra shot per magazine is going to help you that much, but we'll see. Speaking of PvP, I found these guns to be very difficult to use in the Crucible, though they were quite rewarding when I played them well. The fact of the matter is, all the guns in this archetype share the same traits of low handling, low stability, low aim assist, low equip speed, and those are all things I look at when I'm trying to judge my PvP sniper rifles. Fortunately, you can use perks to lift most of those stats up a little bit, but when you compare them to other popular weapons like the 1000-yard stare, the LDR, the glass promontory, they're still going to lag a little bit behind. That rate of fire doesn't seem so bad at first, but when you really look at it, 1 second is right even with the slowest primary time to kills in the game. And that means that in between your shot, you can go from full health to 0 health without even being able to fire again against something like a hung jury or the villainy. And that's not really that great. I found that if I hit someone and didn't kill them, or I missed the first shot, it was often a better option to switch to a primary. But the problem is that the equip speeds kind of suffer on this archetype of weapon. Quick Draw can help with that, or you can use a primary that has a high equip speed. But either way, it can be very difficult to swap in the middle of combat. In terms of gameplay strategies, I found that the best bet was to move behind aggressive teammates and act as sort of what I like to call an Overwatch sniper. I thought this worked much, much better than trying to hold down sniper lanes alone. The reason why is you have really high body shot damage, which allows you to easily leave opponents either absolute or one shot depending on their armor, while simultaneously making headshots unnecessary against players that have taken even a bit of damage. Covering other teammates when they pushed really let me play into the strengths of the sniper rifle archetype, and I was definitely more successful and enjoying myself more when I was doing that than when I was trying to cover an entire sniper lane by myself. And the reason why I found it difficult to cover sniper lanes with this gun, it's actually pretty obvious when you think about it. But the low rate of fire makes it very difficult to engage multiple enemies safely. Even if you hit the first enemy and kill them, the second enemy then has a very long time to line up his shots on you before you can fire again. And what I found is that they would either kill me or force me to move back into cover, and once I moved back into cover, they basically taken control of the lane. On top of that, in sniper versus sniper battles, the low aim assist really feels like it puts me at a disadvantage. The gun is much less forgiving of near misses than a lot of the other weapons are, a lot of the other snipers are in the Crucible, and I didn't really think that helped me at all. The lack of stability is also a problem, because I know that there's a long time in between your shots, but these guns jump a lot, and you have to really work to realign your target. And it's even worse if you're getting shot and the flinch is throwing you all over the place. So I just felt like those things kind of combined to make it not the best weapon for trying to hold down sniper lanes. On the plus side, though, when I was covering my teammates from behind, it was a bit of support that was really well appreciated. I was able to rack up assists. My teammates got a ton of assists. I kept people alive. And the fact that you can go for body shots instead of headshots is really, really useful, because in the heat of combat in congested areas, headshots are not always a guarantee. And it's a much, much bigger target to aim for if you're shooting for the body. As a side note, I was playing a lot in Supremacy, which probably isn't the best game type to test these snipers in, but it kind of gave me a worst case scenario idea of how the guns would function. But as a side note, so many engagements were in your face type onslaughts that I actually found myself no scoping more often than I ever have before with the sniper rifle. I think it was a little bit of the arrogance of knowing that if I hit someone in the body, even just graze their toe or something, and they've barely been nicked by one of my teammates, I'm still going to get the kill that allowed me to go through with it so much. But it actually worked out relatively well. I got quite a few kills, just no-scoping people who were charging me. Moving on from PvP to PvE, without the raid sniper being out yet, it's kind of hard to say what effect it will have on the PvE sandbox. On paper, it really does look like a fantastic way to put maximum damage into a boss. especially when paired with something like sniper rifle reload gloves for those lightning fast reloads. But I don't really think either of the other two weapons are going to be at their best outside of the Crucible. Devil's Dawn in particular is really heavily focused on PvP with its perks. It doesn't have anything for ammo or reload to help up the DPS. And the Crucible Quartermaster Soul Event Horizon is also unsurprisingly more at home in the Crucible than it would be in a PvE sandbox. It might be possible to get an Event Horizon random drop that's pretty good, but I wouldn't count on it. I think it might be a little bit rare. And overall, I'd say your best bet would just be to wait for the raid sniper and then give that one a shot, because even if you get an Event Horizon with triple tap isn't going to be as good as the combination of wait for it and spray and pray with sniper rifle reload gloves. So that's basically it, guys. A little too long, didn't read. The good is you can kill supered enemies with a critical hit regardless of armor levels, which is really nice. You can kill almost anyone who's taken damage with a body shot in the Crucible, and it does massive amounts of damage per shot in PvE. That's for the entire archetype. The bad is a slow rate of fire, low mag size, low aim assist, low stability, low equip speed, and a real reliance on perks to try to make up for those shortcomings. In conclusion, these are basically high risk, high reward weapons. It means they're really powerful in the right hands when used the right way, but they're borderline useless if you're using them the wrong way. It's really a prime example of needing to play to a weapon's strengths, even if they don't necessarily align with your own. And using these weapons is definitely an emotional roller coaster. You go from the lowest low, the rage of seeing someone get away with literally 1 to 2 HP left, to the absolute joy of shutting someone down in their super or killing someone with a body shot after they'd only been hit by a single stray bullet from the Doctrine of Passing. So with all that being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the review, and remember to like, favorite, and subscribe for more. Bye.